All right, I think a lot of you guys are going to be very happy by this. Bethesda just posted this. This is official. Yes, they're interested in adding city maps to the game. I kid you not. Finally, also an FOV slider, NVIDIA DLSS support for PC. Again, this is official, and we got a new patch that is out right now. We're going to go over the post here in detail. Also, the patch notes as well and feedback from the community. But also, we have to talk about misinformation around Starfield. This is super important, so stay tuned to the end of the video. And yeah, I'm going over your top comments as well later in the video. Remember, if you're new, smack that subscribe button, welcome aboard, and turn on that bell notification to get all your Starfield updates. But let's dive straight into this without wasting your time. Go straight into the post from Bethesda Game Studios. It's official. But first, an enormous thank you to all of you playing Starfield and your support. We are absolutely blown away by the response and all you love about the game. We're also reading all of your great feedback on what you'd like to see improved or added to the game. This is a game we'll be supporting for years and years to come, so please keep all the feedback coming. Even if we don't get to your request immediately, we'd love to do it in the future, like city maps. Our priority initially is making sure any top blocker bugs or stability issues are addressed and adding quality of life features that many are asking for. The first update is a small hotfix targeted at the few top issues we are seeing. After that, expect regular interval of updates that have top community requested features, including brightness and contrast controls, HDR calibration menu, FOV slider, NVIDIA DLSS support for PC, hell yes, 32:9 ultra wide monitor support, and eat button for food. That is freaking awesome. And it also says this: we're also working closely with NVIDIA, AMD, and Intel on driver support, and each update will include new stability and performance improvements. Additionally, we are working on our built-in mod support creations that will work across all platforms, similar to what we've done with Skyrim and Fallout 4. This full support is planned to launch early next year. Until then, we know our PC community is already very active in the modding space. And if you have any feedback on how we can make this better, please let us know. Modding and creating in our games will always be a vital and important part of who we are. And we love seeing the community get off to such a strong start. I love the level of communication here. So first and foremost, kudos to Bethesda Game Studios for that one. So yeah, some exciting stuff happening around Starfield in the future, and good to know that they are going to be doing official updates beyond what's being done within the modding community. Now, we also got to talk about the update that went live today. Everyone's already downloading it. Check it out right here. We go to the official post on the subreddit from Bethesda Game Studio, and it does have this line right here: update version 1.729, fixes and improvements. We got performance and stability for Xbox Series X and S. So improved stability related to installations, and various stability and performance improvements to reduce crashes and improve frame rate for practically all the platforms. And then some quest stuff as well right there. So fixes for the questing. But yeah, let's get into some of the replies from the community, because I wanted to highlight how you guys are reacting, but most notably some additional feedback as to stuff that you guys want to see added down the road through updates. So let's get into it, shall we? We have native HDR and DLSS support will be awesome, but I'm probably most excited for the eat button for food. 100% agree with that one. It's going to make the game so much better. I know it's such a small, minor thing, but trust me, doing it over and over again, going to your inventory, this time you'll be able to just do it right there from the game space, you know, when you're trying to pick up the item. Now, also it says this: really need to adjust vendor credit supply. Really difficult to sell 100k credits of contraband when the trade authority only has 11k every other day. Do you guys think this is an issue? Do you want to see this adjusted or not? Or do you think it should be part of the game where you're kind of challenged to kind of go to different trade authority areas around the universe? Then we have, could you please make a separate highlight color between regular junk and component ammo food? Love this idea. It would make it so much more simplified to actually look at your inventory. And also it says, in addition to eat button, a read button would be great for books, magazines, slates, etc., so that we don't have to put them into our inventory to read them, like Skyrim, for example. Also, not a huge one, but I think it would improve immersion if NPCs were visually startled when you take your gun out when you point it at them. I 100% agree with that. But this game has been amazing so far. Can't wait to see how the improvements are. You guys are like me. You know, a lot of these posts are like me. Yes, the game has some issues, but I'm excited to see what adjustments they make in the future and cannot wait to see where this game ends up in a year or 2 years, because right now we have an absolutely strong foundation in my opinion. Also, we have this one right here. It says, I actually just made a post about this, but if you're taking suggestions, I should say, for quality of life updates, could you consider an auto decorate option for player owned homes? Love this idea. Just a simple curated layout for each location that places everything for you: couches, beds, shelves, etc. Then from there, if I want to change something specific, I can use the panel already in the game. It's a little tedious for me to have to place everything one by one at each location, a bit overwhelming. So the only thing in any of my houses is the succulents that come with it. Oh, and also possibly a grid option on the floor with scalable grid size, with a snap to grid option as well. That would also make it a lot less tedious. That would also be a very welcome addition for Outposts as well, in my opinion. Anyway, thanks for the update. Performance fixes are always welcome. Also looking forward to everything else that is planned. Yeah, would be really, really cool just to have like a one-click install all my furniture button or buy it in bulk. That would be such a great idea. I think Bethesda should consider that in the future for sure. And yeah, again, you know, this note right here, can't wait for this game to be beloved in 2 years' time. Opinions on Bethesda games are never solidified at launch. Excited for DLSS, hopefully frame gen included as well. Yeah, the future seems to be bright for this one. And we got to talk about how the inventory needs to be improved. This is the inventory we all deserve, but Bethesda didn't want to bother with. Of course, mods have been busy. This is a mod right here. I'll try to throw that mod link in the description below. But yes, the inventory needs to see improvement. That's the next thing I hope Bethesda does talk about, of course. The game is also suffering from something else, a lack of evil companions. I really do think that they need to get in tune with this and perhaps give us some companions that are actually less goody two-shoes here and always questioning us. It would be nice to have someone that's kind of like from Neon as well and really just wants to get in there and make some hard cash, whatever it takes. That would be very cool to see. I hope that's actually some sort of DLC. Now, we got to talk about some potential, all right, say potential misinformation, because the information seems to be right now all over the place and not verified whatsoever. This comes from a post that I recently highlighted right here, and stick with me to the end here because this is extremely important, okay? So it says, major programming faults discovered in Starfield's code by BKD 3D dev. Performance issues are not the result of non-upgraded hardware. Now, you can read that post for yourself if you want to. There is a bunch of tech lingo in there, programming lingo, if you would. Most people probably won't understand it, and that was one of the hot topics here and why we have to talk about it. And I'll get to the end result here in just a moment, but check it out. It says, DV says this has to be more to it on a PC setup level that pushes it over the edge for certain users. Otherwise, every GPU would be crashing without exception. 6800 XT here, no crashes, playing at 4K. So his experience seems to be smooth overall. However, we have some people with crashes. We have the 2060 crash when I changed the resolution of the window borderless to full screen, which is not supported because the game doesn't have a full screen dedicated mode. That would be nice to have that added, by the way, but you can see how some people are also experiencing crashes right there. But then again, some people on the 3080 here, I've crashed 0 times in 80 hours. I've crashed about once during my entire time playing Starfield. I'm being 100% honest about that, by the way. Doesn't mean I haven't run into glitches, of course, and there needs to be improvements. But overall, for me personally, it has been stable. Let me know the case for you, what is going on your end. But ultimately, this leads us back to the original post right here, which was removed by the moderators. Apparently, they might have found it to be kind of misinformative, that it wasn't on point. Yeah, and there was another post that was posted recently counteracting this one. I cannot find it for the life of me. I do not know where it went. That drives me absolutely crazy. But it was a counter post to this from another programmer saying, hey, this was completely misinterpreted. So I'm thinking that's why this was actually ultimately removed. So yeah, I'm just an observer here, giving you guys the information. We might have some issues with how the information is being interpreted. I don't know. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens with the official updates. But on the good side of things, we're seeing Bethesda do stuff officially. They're not just sitting back 100% letting mods do everything this time around. They are actually really getting into the trenches here and working on updates, which is great to see. Now, also, we have this post right here as well. It says, this game has so many layers that most players won't see or appreciate. I love this story right here. It says, I came across a kid deep in Sidonia's hallways. No reason to ever go there. No quest tied to the area. They told me about their mom being sad, so I found her and just sat and listened to their story. It was so much like my own life that I decided to give her 20,000 credits. She cried, and the whole thing was so emotional for what was a questless NPC conversation. Even Barrett chipped in some creds. So much is worth your time investment in this game that just isn't most others. Yeah, you know, there's some amazing stuff around every corner, and that's one thing I wanted to highlight. That's one reason why I appreciate Bethesda's works and their games. You never know what you're going to be running into, and that is also true about space exploration. He's talking about exploring on planets. Get out there in space as well, because there's some absolutely hilarious stuff that I've run into, trust me. And yeah, the stories are endless. But let's get into your top comments. So first up, we have this one right here from Michael, who says, I have been really struggling with games lately. I love games, but I just couldn't find something to get lost in. Then Starfield came out. I look forward to coming home every day after work to get lost in it. It's great. I do not care what other people say. I'm having a great time. I love that line. I do not care what other people have to say. That's 100% how I am. If I hear a game gets 6, 7 out of 10 or whatever, and I'm enjoying the hell out of it, I don't care. I'm in a blissful mood. I'm enjoying my game. That's how I am. You guys can go on and on, make all your viral videos about how horrible the game is. I don't care. What I'm playing is a hell of a time. I'm having a blast. All right, so next up, we have this one right here from 9 and Sniper, who says, I started out liking the game, but felt like something was off, the way the fast travel works and the menu system. But the more I play, the more I like it. That's how I started, exactly. It has some quirks, that you need to learn and just accept, but I feel this game will slowly get better and better the more people play and learn the ins and outs. It's not perfect, but better than I initially thought. Yeah, exactly my experience. Starting out with this one was strange. It was like I had to get into this flow and understand the flow of the game. And then when I really started exploring planets and spending like an hour on this planet or even 45 minutes on a planet at a time, then it really started opening up. And I was like, oh, okay. But when you have it where you're jumping from place to place to place every like 5-10 minutes, that's when you're like, whoa. That did happen a little bit earlier on for some strange reason. And we have Steven, who says, I kept seeing Starfield compared to Star Citizen and No Man's Sky, but not the Outer Worlds. I mean, if you have to compare it to something, I feel like the Outer Worlds is more appropriate. I really enjoyed the Outer Worlds, but I found myself wishing it offered a little more exploration, actual space travel, etc. Starfield does what the Outer Worlds did, and so much more. I bought a Series X just for this game and don't regret it one bit. I've been hearing that a lot. People that have bought the Xbox Series X, they bought it for Starfield, and they're enjoying the hell out of it currently. So yeah. And I've also seen Digital Foundry's impression of Starfield. I was always so worried that this game would not run well at all on Xbox Series X, and that does not seem to be the case. So that was such a relief to hear. Thank you all so much for the love and support on the videos, and yes, all of your comments. Stay tuned here for more news and updates about all things Starfield. I have you guys covered, and I will see you all next time. Take care.